Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on how we can actually merge two different tables using Power Query. Well, in Excel, you know what is VLOOKUP, you also know what is XLOOKUP. But what if I tell you that we can actually combine two tables, not manually, but using Power Query? As you can refer on this particular file over here, we do have two different tables, whereby in this particular table, we do have the SKU and the list of brand and the respective price, cost and the margin. That means the margin or the profit that we get from the particular brands. And then however, when we look on the second table, we do have the date, SKU, brand and also units. So if in this case, if we use VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, especially if just say I want to do the VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP here, this will be the lookup value. Okay, so perhaps I'll just highlight this, and then over here this will be the same table or the same column from the other table, from the other list. Okay, I'll just highlight this as well. So since we are not going to use VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP, so how we are going to merge these two different table? Okay, so let's have a look. So the first thing what you do is you put your cursor over here and then you press Ctrl A. When you press Ctrl A, you will notice that the entire table will be highlighted. And then what you do is you go to data. As you can see in this particular ribbon here, there's a data ribbon. So under the data ribbon, you go to the left, there's a section called get and transform data. So in this get and transform data, you click on the icon called from table / range. So you click this. So the moment you click this particular icon, a small box will appear. So in this small box, what you need to do is, alright, where is the data? So this is the data, my table has header. Alright, so I just click this. So once I click this, it will load and it will go to Power Query Editor. Okay, so the name of the table is table 1. You can also change the table 1 here. Okay, so since I put my table as a header, so the sales transaction immediately becomes the header. So what I'm going to do is I don't want the sales transaction column 1, column 2. Instead, I want all the first row to appear as a header. So what I do is under the home section, I use first row as header. So once I click this, automatically it will appear as a header. So now you have this particular data, and then I go to home. Under the home, there is a close and load arrow. I click this arrow, I click close and load to. So once I click close and load to, so like what I say, you can create table, pivot table, report, chart, but I'm going to create only create connection. So when I create connection, it doesn't create a pivot table, it just creates a connection. And on your right hand side, you will notice you have a connection name table 1. Alright, so the same thing, I'm going to go here, I'm going to press Ctrl A, so it will highlight everything, and then I'm going to go to data. I want to go to get and transform data. So in this section, there's an icon called from table / range. So I click this, so take this and I press OK. So once I press OK, it will go to Power Query Editor. So the same thing, I use first row as header, and then of course it will appear automatically, and then I just close and load to, just to create a connection only, and I press OK. So right now we do have two different tables, table 1 and also table 2. So what's the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the data. So under the data ribbon, the section of get and transform data, there's an icon called get data. I click this, I go to combine queries. So you go to data, you go to get data, and you click combine queries. So the moment you click combine queries, there are two sections, which is append and merge. I'm going to merge these two tables. So I click merge, automatically a window will appear. The window name merge will appear. So I choose table 1, and over here I choose table 2. So if you notice over here, there's no updates over here. So what I need to do is I need to choose which one is the same column. So I choose SKU. Okay, so I have to choose two columns. So select the same number of columns for both visible tables. So here SKU, I choose SKU. So I select these two similar columns, like how you use lookup value or in your VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP. So the same thing, this is the two similar columns, and then I press OK. So the moment I press OK, you will be navigated to Power Query Editor. So in this Power Query Editor, what I do is I click on this arrow box, I click this. So automatically this window will ask me what name I'm going to use. I don't want to use original name because otherwise it will appear as table 2. So I just untick this. Since we do have the SKU and brand, so I untick the SKU, I untick the brand, and I press OK. So now you have the price per unit, you have the cost per unit, you have the margin per unit. So this is how you can create merge these two tables. But if just say you don't want the price, you don't want the cost, what you can do is you can actually remove this. Okay, I just remove. So now you have units and margin, and based on these two you can actually get a total profit that you gain from the each products on the daily basis. So what you do is perhaps you can actually sort the data. I'm going to sort this, sort in ascending. So now we have this data sort in an ascending order, and I'm going to click this column together with this column so that this column both are highlighted. And the next step is what I'm going to do is I'm going to add column. This add column ribbon asks us, okay, tell us on how we can add column. Either we can actually do an index column or create a custom column. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to standard, and we want to multiply these two. That means the unit multiply with the margin. So multiply this. So here you'll get the total profit that you get from the each brands on the daily basis. Okay, so I'm going to name this as total profit. And there you go. And then you go to home and you press close and load. So once you press close and load, automatically you will be loaded into the particular Excel file. So meaning to say, initially we do have two different tables, but now thanks to Power Query, we can actually merge and create one table.